Desde la línea podcast y su creador, Luis M. Rodríguez, no se hacen responsables por las opiniones, expresiones, comentarios o puntos de vista expresados por los participantes o invitados.
Bienvenidos al podcast Desde la Línea.
Desde la línea podcast te estoy cantando. Desde la línea podcast improvisando. Le doy las gracias todito a todos mis hermanos por estos años que yo a los niños he dedicado. Desde la línea podcast, desde la línea podcast. ¡Mira, wow!
Dímelo, Corillo, que es la que hay. Saludos y bienvenidos a Desde la Línea Podcast, edición uno para una esta semana. This podcast is completely in English. I'm sorry, but, go ahead, try it. Maybe, my English is not the best, but I do it. If I can do it, you can do it too. Yeah, I got here. She got interesting history. She's from Canada, but she moving to Spain for make one sport, and the name is he say bad? You can tell me good. It's a box leg,
Bobsleigh.
box leg. What is that? Well, stay tuned for know what is that. And she is Leanna García. How are you?
I'm good. I'm tired. I had a busy day, but I'm good. How are you?
No bad, no bad. Thank you for the opportunity and appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
I like to start the podcast with the question, and the first question, and the question is, who is Leanna Garcia?
Oh, I don't know. Who am I? I don't know. My friends like to say that I am a bit of an agent of chaos. I seem to thrive in chaos, and I guess that's why I've found myself in such a niche and exciting and sometimes dangerous sport like bobsleigh. Um, I love to learn, I love to study, and there's a lot of that in bobsled, especially when driving the sled. I'm in school right now for holistic nutrition because I believe in the healing powers of food and nature and everything, and that's something I would love to do, especially working with athletes because so many of us have a lot of injuries and sicknesses and things. But yeah, I think I'm a hardworking, slightly chaotic, a little bit neurotic, but kind person who's just trying to do their best.
It's very interesting when you tell me that for the different injuries and food or something like that in the athlete. It's really interesting. But I read it in Spanish. Maybe I can try to if I can find in English, I send it to you. But I see it a lot of women's got a different injury in the ACLs or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I read it. What I want to study, and I don't remember what university do it. And he say normally when the woman's got the problems in the AC or something like that, it's normally when he is in the his period, in the month.
Mhm.
It's really interesting. But I say what? When I got the different friends, I got close friends. She's woman's and she do a sport asking. We got the ACO. I say, how many questions when you made the injury in the ACL, you in your period? And he say, yes. I say, wow, that was true. It's
Yeah.
very interesting, but he say, wow, he say, it's important you say, it's true. You say, I got a lot of injuries normally in both, in women and men, but normally in the women's sport, I got a lot of injuries.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's because we're very understudied. There's not a lot of studies done on women on how our hormones affect our tendons, ligaments, like the fascia. Like we're learning so much about the fascia of the body and how it relates to the nervous system and our hormones. So it's something that's really understudied, but really interesting because you're just hearing it more and more now, especially as women's sport becomes more popular in the world. Yeah, we're talking about it more, so which is good.
You born in Canada, and you made your childhood in Canada. Tell me a little bit for your childhood and what the sport you do before the bobsled. Tell me about it a little bit.
Yeah, so I started in athletics. Well, as a child, I didn't really like sports. I didn't like doing sports, but I fell in love with athletics. And I started with the throwing events, lanzamiento de peso y
Mm-hmm.
lanzamiento de yo, so hammer
Is it
throw and shot put. And
lifting, right?
I
Something
fell
like
in
that?
love with it. What?
Lifting, halterophilia, right?
No, well, I did a little bit of that, but it's like you know the ball
Oh,
that
yeah,
in
the little
athletics.
bit, the iron ball.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I did that and I fell in love with it. And so that was kind of the start of my journey with sports because I never liked sports before. And I did it for about 10 years and I was always like in Canada, I was good, but never to compete at the international level. And a coach came to me one day and he said, you know, I think you're good at throwing, but I never think that you'll be an Olympian. I never think that you'll be, you know, that level. He's like, and I don't think you would be a very good sprinter either because you're too big. He's like, have you ever tried bobsled? And I said, no. Like, so when I think I was 16 or 17, I went to a testing camp because it's very popular in Canada. So they have them locally in all of the cities. And I did okay, but they told me I was too young and I should go to university and get a degree. So I did athletics in university for 5 years. And then once I was done with athletics in university, I decided to full time start training for bobsled. And I made it onto the Canadian team in 2019.
Okay. I
Yeah.
see that, normally the book, but I know that different sport, like the same, you use the different, like, what is I don't know, what is the name, but the ball, what is the real name for the, I say thing, it's already weird, but the thing you use it, the bobsled, what is the real name for that one?
Sled.
The sled, okay. In
Yeah.
normally,
Canoe.
yeah, it's normally, you know, that was specific for that one, or you can use the different trineo for different sports. Like but I remember, I know I got the different sport. You got three people, two people, just one. It's the same
Mhm.
trineo or something different, or
It's
maybe big or
different.
small.
Yeah. So the monobob, so when I was on Team Canada, I did the two women. And so it's a similar size to the monobob, the one person, but then those are both much smaller than the four man. So there's the four man, and mostly only men do it. It's actually an open event, and not a lot of people know that. So Canada actually had a woman drive one of the four man sleds with three guys in the back, and my coach was in the back of one of those sleds, which was cool. But yeah, so when I was with Canada, I did the two woman event. So I was always in the back pulling the brakes. And for Spain, I've been driving monobob for 2 years. And so this will be my third year starting this winter. But yeah, the monobob and the two women sled weigh almost the same. It's like 7 kilos lighter, the one person. So me by myself, I have to push almost the same weight as the two person sled.
This is my first. This is my next question. But normally when you got two people, you got different roles. The front
Mhm.
do something, different things. The back say different things. But this is my next question. When you got you only in the trineo, you need to do both things.
Yeah, yeah. So in the monobob, I wish I could like show a picture. I sit a little bit further back in the sled, and then I have my steering, so I steer like this during, and then the brakes is like a lever, and it's between my legs, so it's like a handle, and I'll let go of the steering and I'll pull up on the brakes when it's just me. And then when I'm a brake woman, or I'll be driving, and then behind me there will be a girl, and she'll help me push. And then for the rest of the run, she just stays down with her head kind of between her knees, and then she pulls up on. It'll be a similar thing. You pull it, and it brings the brakes down, and it stops the sled.
The race is like a normal car. Like something they say like that or no? Or it's a little bit different. How
Like
can
the
you put a break for the trineo? It's like a saying like a emergency with the car, something like that.
It's like it looks like a claw. So
Okay.
like a claw comes down and it scratches the ice, and that's how we stop.
Interesting, it's really
Yeah.
interesting for me, but I see it maybe, but normally, uh, the Winters Olympics, it's a little bit different. If maybe for me, maybe it's not in my algorithm, but normally it's a not it's a more popular. It's a normal Olympics, like whatever everybody see. I don't know. It's a winter. I got the same fan base or maybe more. I don't know. But I tell you the truth, I'm Puerto Rican. I'm from the
Yeah.
Caribbean. You don't have any too much people in the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, and that's kind of something I've struggled with a little bit coming to Spain is not a lot of people watch the winter sports. They don't know. And so that's, it's cool that I could come from Canada and join the Spanish team and teach them more about bobsled, but it's a struggle. Like I meet so many people, they don't know what it is, and I'm really trying through awareness, through like people inviting me on their podcasts like you to create more awareness for the winter sports because it's a very expensive sport. And yeah, we don't have a huge fan base, especially in Spain or warmer countries.
Yeah, it's true, But I remember, normally, I don't know, maybe somebody asking you or tell you the same chiste, something like that. The only people I know, something for the Winter Olympics or winter sports is like the movie for the Jamaicans.
Yeah.
You see, it's like the Jamaicans. Maybe you say, yes, like the Jamaicans.
Yeah. Every time. Like the movie in English we say Cool Runnings, but I can't remember the Spanish name. I know it's different.
Let me
What's
double
the
check. I
movie
don't
called?
remember, but I think so. Let me see. Jamaican.
It's something like it has a longer title and it's something about the spirit or something. I can't remember.
It's a cool runnings. This is
Oh,
the name
really?
for this is the name for the movie. It's a cool runnings. Let me see. Cool runnings in Spanish. Let me see. Yeah, but the name is cool runnings.
Because I was speaking with someone recently in Madrid and I was like, "Do you know the movie Cool Runnings?" And he said no. And
In
then I Googled
Spanish,
it on my
everything is Spanish.
yeah. And he had a completely different name for it. And I was like, "What?"
Everybody in Spain, but different is in Spain. Normally, he put in a different number. There's a different name
Yeah.
in Spain. Coronin. I don't see nothing here. Is Coronin
Let me try.
name in Spain? Elegidos para el triunfo.
Yeah.
It's different, It's like Coronins is maybe if you translate in Spanish, Coron is a corredor de frío, maybe.
Yeah.
Runnings is corredor y cool frío, maybe is corredor de frío, but in Spain is elegidos para el triunfo.
Yeah. And so
No,
for years, I've been trying to tell people it's like the movie Cool Runnings. And I say, like, I'll try to speak Spanish. It's como la película Cool Runnings. And they're like,
what?
¿qué? And I'm like, but yeah, the whole time it's a different name.
No, the thing is, in Spain, normally here in the Caribbean or in Spanish country like República Dominicana, something like that, this is the real meme. It's for example, like that, in United States, school runnings, in Puerto Rico, the Caribbean, school runnings, in Spain, whatever. It's normal, it's
Yeah,
like that, everything in Spain is a different name.
I know. It makes it really funny.
Where you started, in Canada, when you started to move into Spain, if I read it, you got one parent, this is Spain, right?
Yeah, so my father is from Colmenar Viejo. I don't know if you know, it's really close to Madrid. And my whole father's side of my family is still there. So it's nice when I go train, I get to see them. But my mother is from Canada and then he met my mother here, so he stayed in Canada. And yeah, so I have like a really strong Spanish heritage. It's just
This
such
is
a
this is the,
shame I don't
this is
speak
the
Spanish.
beautiful this is the beautiful for Canada and United States, right? But normally, you know, it doesn't, you know, this is like the United States or Canada, you know, but you can meet every different people of different countries, you know, but normally maybe your mom never go to Canada for nothing or something like that, you know, but he know he meet when any Spain he in Canada, you know, it's normally that was happen only in United States or Canada, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. There's a lot of people from different backgrounds. Like even just on the Canadian bobsled team, there's so many athletes who, like one of the Canadian bobsledders is Australian, and he came from Australia. He competed for Australia, then competed for Canada. Like there, one guy was Brazilian, and so he competed for Brazil, competed for Canada, went back to Brazil. Like we're very diverse.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit how you started to process to move into the Federación Española de Hielo.
Yeah, so I just I found myself like I wasn't very happy where I was. I didn't know what I needed to do to change it. You know, I felt like I tried to do so much to improve and get better, and no matter what I did, I wasn't improving. And I would take opportunities to try to do better. And I remember the final straw I had was I went out to Whistler, and Whistler's like one of the most feared tracks in the world because it's so fast. It is the fastest track in the world. So a lot of people don't like to go there. So I went there with my pilot to help her. And I was like, this is perfect for me. I get to do so many training runs. I can improve. I can get better. And our first run, like we call it a run. It's a bajada in
Mhm,
Spanish with a
mhm.
horrible accent.
Yeah, yeah.
And the first run, the sled broke and we almost crashed, and it was really, really crazy. It was just something had snapped, like something in a welding point had snapped. And so for 2 weeks, I was there with her and I couldn't train. I couldn't do anything. And I was like, why did I come here? This, like, something just doesn't feel right anymore. It doesn't feel like this is meant for me. And so I decided instead of going on the World Cup circuit, I would stay on the North America's Cup circuit. And in between the races there, I would learn how to drive to see if I liked it. And so while I was racing as a brake woman for Canada, I would just, after the race ended, I would take a few days to learn how to drive that track a little bit. I only did it on like 2-3 tracks because it's so expensive. And then I reached out to Ander, who's the head of the program, and I said, hey, like, do you want a bobsled athlete? I see you haven't had one in years. I don't know what's going on. And he was like, yes. So right away we had a meeting. I told him about my plans to try to drive, and he just would communicate with me from time to time. I would tell him I was still interested. And then once my season was over, I said, I love driving. The few tracks I was able to drive, I love it. And Canada has such a huge team. I would never get the opportunity to learn how to drive with Canada because we have girls with years of experience. And he was like, okay, let's do it. Come to Spain, try to get your passport, see what you can do. And so that summer I had planned to live in Germany, training with a German coach because the Germans are the best at bobsleigh. So I was working with this German coach, and I applied for my passport when I was in Canada. The day before my flight left for Germany, my nationality documents were ready. So I got them. Next day, went to the airport, flew to Germany, took a flight to Spain with my papers. My uncle had a friend who worked at a police station in Madrid, and that day they got me my passport, and it happened in like 2 months.
Wow.
And I was like, this is the crazy. And so when I spoke to the federation, they were like, we have athletes who have been trying to get passports for years. This is crazy. And I was like, I don't know. I guess it was just meant to be. And so, yeah, that's kind of how it worked. Everything started just happening like easy. Everything, it's like I was like unlocking levels and moving ahead easy. And I was like, this is meant to be. This is what I needed. Yeah.
How many questions? When I remember I got this question, but you tell me, but it's really interesting. Little come back a little bit. When you told me in the trineo, when you got two different people, you got one drive, another one is the brakes, right? You tell me
Yeah.
normally the athlete for more experience in normally is who drive? Normally, maybe the people got less experience go to break or not necessary.
Yeah, well, normally every athlete starts as a brake woman, and then they'll get 1 year or 2 years to learn the sled mechanics because there's a lot of like work with the sled. Like they're like a Formula One racing car. It's crazy. Every day we work so hard. So you get that experience that way and you understand how the sport in general works, and then you start to learn how to drive. So that's kind of the normal progression. Sometimes, like, a country like Spain who didn't have bobsled at the moment, they would have to have someone just start learning how to drive right away. So, and I think that puts someone at a disadvantage, in my opinion.
It's really interesting, but normally it's like maybe not say that one, but maybe that was not sound good. But maybe normally the athlete driving is the star. Maybe in the break is maybe the
Yeah.
ayudante, maybe.
Yeah, and that's how it's been for years. And we've kind of fought with there's the International Federation, the IVSF. So race results used to say like if it was my team, it would be like Bob Team Garcia, Bob Team Garcia, whatever. Bob Team, my friend, Bob Team Voss, Bob Team, whatever. Like, and they wouldn't give any sort of acknowledgement to the brake women or the brakemen. And so now they have started to acknowledge them more. So it'll say team so and so and so and so. So it's started to become more equal because that's something that nobody really likes because the brakemen, brakewomen do so much work. Like they're pushing the sled, they're helping with
Mhm.
the mechanics, and like the pilots, we have more races than they do. So a lot of the time on race day, they're moving the sleds for us, they're helping us get organized, they're keeping us calm. They're like a huge support and they work really hard. So now in the last, I would say 3-4 years, we're starting to acknowledge the brakemen and their efforts more, which is really nice.
Yeah, this is true. It's really good. You start to knowledge the people. Hey, this guy is really important too. But
Yeah.
normally when you ask me, say, but you tell me, you do the in Canada, the brave woman for a lot of time. Maybe you can get their interesting for maybe one day driving. But normally it's like for the reason I'm asking you, hey, normally the brave woman, the brave man is just like ayudante or something like that. But I know
Yeah.
it's really good you say. Normally, in the last years, I got the knowledge. Hey, this guy is really important, or how much is most important, like you think.
Hmm. Yeah,
You tell
that's
me
really good.
too. This sport is really expensive. And normally, maybe it's more expensive when you don't live in the country, have any cold days, right? Or winter days.
Yeah, so that's a really good point actually. So living in a city like Calgary, we have access to a lot of facilities and training centers, but being somewhere that's not close, so like someone in Spain, like they would have to travel to a training center or like a push track. You'd have to pay for somewhere to live at that time. A lot of the times we have to rent the training facilities. So like in Calgary, for me to go and train for 1 hour, it's 100 Canadian dollars per hour.
Wow.
So yeah, so if I'm training on the push track 3 times a week, it's $300 a week. And so it's crazy. And all the travel. So we're lucky in Europe, we can drive a lot of places
A
and we
train or
have,
something like that.
yeah. So, but in North America, we have to fly. So from going from Whistler to Lake Placid, that's a 4-day car drive. So we have to fly. They put the sleds on a train, and that's how we do it. And it's way more expensive. What's also very expensive is just the equipment because we're responsible for all of our equipment. Like a sled is 30,000 euros. The monobob is about 30,000 euros. A good two-man, I think, is about 50 or 60,000 euros. Like it's like a car. And then the blades for the sled, around 7 or 8,000 euros. And so
Wow.
Yeah, and there's tracks depending on the ice conditions, depending on the track, depending on your driving skill. There's different blades that you can have. So have I personally own two sets, and the Federation just bought me a third set. So my first set I bought for $500 because they were really old. My second set, a sponsor helped me buy them for about $7,000. And then the third set the Federation bought was 8,000 euros. And that was actually a really funny story. It was like a miracle almost. They bought the runner. They're called runners in English. It doesn't really make sense, but they're blades.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they bought them in December, and UPS lost them in the mail. So they got lost. And so I didn't get them for my Olympic qualification season. It was a disaster for days. We tried to find them. We're trying to communicate with UPS. They're not helping so bad. So, we're like, we lost them. They're lost. All of that money, like the equipment, it's gone. And everything is custom made. And then I think in March or April, I got a message on Instagram from some man. And he was like, hey, do you know anyone who would need a set of bobsled blades? And I was like, what a weird message. And so I ignored him.
Yes.
And then he sends me a photo, and they're mine. They're the lost ones because they have the code on them. And
Yeah,
every code is unique. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, is this a joke? Could he be using AI? These are mine. And so he's telling me about them. So they were lost in the mail in Milan, in Italy. They got sold. You know how you can buy lost mail and then resell it?
Yeah, yeah.
So a company an hour and a half away from Madrid in Spain bought a pallet of lost mail. And this man's job is selling mail. So he went and he purchased them for 60 euros. He had no clue what they were. And then he sent me a message, and I was like, oh my God, they're mine. So I didn't tell him they were mine for weeks because I was afraid. I thought maybe someone was trying to kidnap me. How could this be real? But they were my runners. He brought them back to me. I gave him 60 euros back to buy them back. And he was a very kind stranger who helped me in a huge way that he won't even ever understand. I cried. So it was really crazy how they got lost in Italy and made it back to Spain. And I was in the same city that they made it back. It was so weird. Yeah.
The thing is, the guys, it really like to help you, but normally maybe one people with the bad intentions, he go to double check. All he need to do is a search in internet. And he know how expensive that thing is, maybe he can tell you, okay, that was you, or maybe no. Yeah, that was you. It's okay. I know in Google that was at $7,000. If you want it, give me that.
Yeah. So he could have done anything, and he showed me the receipt that he bought it for 60 euros, and I was like, 60 euros? Done. Yeah, it was incredible.
I read it too. It's really interesting that one. They say in Spanish, you say, al embarcarme en este emocionante viaje a los Juegos Olímpicos de Invierno, no solo compito por medallas. Mi objetivo es inspirar a los jóvenes de todo el mundo para que persigan sus sueños. Asking embark in this exciting journey to the Winter Olympics. I am not just competing for the medals. My goal is to inspire the young girls and the over in the world and chase their dreams.
Yeah. I have to redo my website and everything because unfortunately I didn't make it to the Olympics, but it was, because I feel like my journey is very, it's very exciting, it's very unique, and I feel like should I accomplish my goals, it will be very inspiring because I've fought from the day I started. Like my first season in bobsled, I just made it onto the team. I wasn't very good. I got injured during COVID. I had to have a surgery during COVID. I didn't get any physio. I was told so much that, you're never going to be good enough. You're not going to be able to accomplish your goals. Like it's a little bit crazy. And even when I changed nations to Spain, a lot of people thought that, I was trying to find like an easier way to compete, but it wasn't easier at all. It was harder. And I did it to try to create more opportunity for myself and for other people, because now we're going to be recruiting people to the Spanish team and growing the team and more opportunity for women in sport. And I'm wearing my shirt. Women aren't niche. One of my sponsors just gave this to me today. But yeah, so I just feel like there's so many amazing athletes in Spain as well. Like, it could just be helping someone accomplish their lifelong dream of going to the Olympics by using their speed and strength and explosiveness in just a different sport, just another way to become a professional athlete, to see your dreams through. So that was kind of my goal.
It's really interesting, but you tell me, I need to reescribir my bio, but I know made the Olympics, but I know maybe that was important. This is important moment for every athlete, and maybe I know this is important. This maybe one goal for you, but maybe for do the Olympics is no deja de ser importante como quiera the message you bring it to the people, But I think so. The most important is the message. And maybe right now do the Olympics, but the real message, if you give it the people, is no te rinda, never quit. If you do the first time, you can do maybe in the second time, maybe in the third, maybe in the fourth, maybe in the five. I don't know. Right now, if you can see it, right now I got this goalkeeper in the World Cup, Batiña. He's a guy for Cape Verde, Cabo Verde.
Yeah.
This guy got 40 years. If this guy is very famous right now, if the people say in United States, maybe he got the deal with Inter Miami. If this guy got one video say, it's an honor for me compete with the Leo Messi. If right now you just only compete versus Leo Messi, maybe you compete in the same team with Leo Messi. Look, this guy got 40 years.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially in bobsled, a lot of the women are a bit older than you would think. Like the gold medalist, Alana Myers, she's 40 and she has two kids. And so that's something I feel like I get asked a lot. Like, don't you want to have a family? Don't you want to settle down and meet someone? Well, look, there's other women winning medals who have kids, who are traveling and accomplishing all of these things while having a family. Because male athletes don't really get asked these questions a lot. It's a lot of women. And so, yeah, like, it's super cool to just be a part of this. And, there's so many people showing resilience, and it continues to inspire resilience and working hard and like pushing the boundaries and stuff. So, yeah.
If you want, let me asking you this question in Spanish. Si tú tienes la oportunidad de tener el control, if you got the opportunity, if you got the control in your future, si tienes la oportunidad de tener control de tu futuro, ¿cómo tú quisieras que fuera?
If I had the opportunity to control my future, what would I want? I think I would want to go to the Olympic medalist, but I would want to do it with a team behind me. I would want to have, maybe we qualify a second sled for the Olympics too, so I'm not the only pilot coming from Spain. I want a group of us. Like, I want a family of Spanish bobsledders. I want to have my own family with kids and a husband. And I want to be able to have success working in my field of nutrition, because a lot of the times I get told that I'm not going to be able to do full-time work with it. But yeah, I want to, like the saying, like, you won't work a day in your life if you do what you love, something like that. That's what I want for me. I want all of my work to be something that I love. And so, yeah, like, having these goals and working so hard to achieve them, like, I don't feel like I'm working hard, because I love it every step of the way. And that's kind of what I just want that for my future, to be like the motto of my life. Just be happy and successful.
Before the end of the podcast, I got the open question for my guests, maybe if you got any question for me, or maybe if you can talk anything, maybe I forget asking you, or maybe anything you say, maybe he asked me that thing, hubiera dicho esto, so, ¿qué tienes para mí? ¿Una pregunta para mí o algo que quieras comentar?
Uh, I think something that I would like to comment on is we severely need sponsors in the sport. And like if there's anyone who's listening or anyone who's out there who thinks that you can help make a difference in this sport, you heard how much it costs. I know it's, kind of people don't like when people are asking for money, but I'm asking for money. But if you know any bigger companies, any services that could help myself and my team accomplish our goals, I would be super grateful. No matter what country you're from, no matter where you represent, because we're a very diverse team ourselves already. So yeah, just that we need help, and to achieve greatness, we need a big team behind us. So that's all I can really think about as a comment for myself. But maybe a question for you.
Yeah.
Well, because you interview a lot of athletes, right? Is that like
Mhm.
your main thing? If you could be a professional athlete in any sport, what would it be
You say for me or for interview?
for you?
Hmm. Very interesting question. I don't know.
Your dream job is having your podcast full time to interview people.
Yeah, to the truth, this is my goal. This is my dream.
Yeah,
So, right now I am professional welder, but if you tell me I can do something for the whole day in my life, is to stay here. You know,
cool.
this one, that was my room. This is the room. Right now that was my new room. By my house close to 7 months ago. But normally, in all the place I live it, I got one space like that. Maybe in another
Mm.
place, in another space is a little bit more smaller, another one's more bigger. But the whole place I go, I have to get this space. When I buy the house,
Mm.
right now this is the attic for the home.
Yeah,
When I go to upstairs, yeah, I see this place, like that. They say, this is the place for my podcast. Yeah, I
yeah,
like it. I got one ring is stay here the whole day asking questions for everybody. This is this
yeah.
is the this is the best
The dream.
dream for me, for all this, I like it this for this studio, is all these teachers is for the different dreamers for the whole the world, I got the dream, I got jerseys for Honduras, from Puerto Rico, Mexico, Guatemala, República Dominicana, of course Puerto Rico, you know
Mhm.
and I got another one I'm not putting yet, but no, Chile, Ecuador, something like that. All
Cool.
these guys is dreamers, maybe
Hmm.
for different sport or something like that. This is I like it for this studio, but I got this good vibe, but I got all the dreamers here, This is a like it,
Cool.
If you stay here the 24/7, this is the dream.
Cool. And so you're a welder right now?
Yeah, this is the job, pay my
The
bills.
job. Yeah. My grandfather was a welder, and so that's why my family from Spain moved to Canada so he could get a job in welding. And that's how
Interesting.
they came here.
This is
Cool.
the reason why your parents meet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting. To the truth, you don't know why I got a lot of people with different hit pitch or something like that. When the America, for me, America is the Canadá to Argentina. The whole country is America,
Yeah.
America del Norte, America Central, America del Sur. But the America is not just United States. It's a the whole continent. The things of the most beautiful for the Americas, specific for the America del Norte, if you got all the different people, for different countries, and normally, where you can talk to any people who speak English or Spanish, but I got different countries, maybe you don't understand, but you don't speak Chinese or something different countries, but This is the most beautiful here in the United. You know, you can meet for different people, but maybe never I go to Spain, you know, for nothing, or maybe never I go to Honduras for nothing, or Mexico, something like that. But I can meet with the people here. You know, this is the thing. So it's the most beautiful for this country. For the reason I hate when I got the different people, I got the hate page for different countries. You know.
Yeah.
Leanna, thank you for the opportunity for talk to me a little bit, you know, and appreciate it. I don't say good luck, but I don't like say good luck, but Canelo Alvarez is a professional Mexican boxer say, you never say good luck for the people, you know, for good luck es para mediocre, you know. When you
Yeah.
say good luck is maybe you're there for maybe different things, you know. You don't say with the professional league, you don't say never you say good luck, you say good vibes or something like that. Or go ahead, do the best you can do, you know, but good luck, no. But the people is here not for good luck. The people training every day for stay in this position.
Mhm.
Lena, thank you for the opportunity and thank you and appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Muchas gracias. I really appreciate the opportunity to just talk about my really weird and crazy sport that no one knows a lot about it. So,
Oye, quiero darle las gracias por llegar hasta aquí, escuchar el podcast, escuchar este episodio brutal. Oye, recuerda buscarnos en cualquier plataforma de podcast como es de la línea podcast y en Instagram como es de la línea podcast. Dale like, dale share, comparte este podcast con todo el mundo. Y si no sabes dónde puedes buscarnos, sencillo, vete a Instagram como es de la línea podcast. Danos a seguir primero que todo para seguir con la meta de seguir creciendo y llegando a otros públicos. Y ahí hay un link de Linktree que lo llevará a todos los lugares donde estamos disponibles. Búscanos en YouTube como Ep.816 para que no te pierdas otra parte del podcast que se llama El Extendido con Melo. Son dos podcasts con la misma persona, pero son dos temas completamente diferentes, así que búscala allá en YouTube como Ep.816 para que escuches El Extendido. Oye, usted escucha esta pista que está de fondo en este outro, es nada más y nada menos que con DJ Salva de España para el mundo. Así que oye, si necesitas una pista para tu intro, para tu outro, también para tu promo, también para tu demo, para lo que sea, escríbele a DJ Salva en Instagram y dile que vas de parte de Melo para que te trate con cariño. Shout out a DJ Salva, el mejor DJ de España. Y usted escucha, y usted ve el logo de Desde la Línea, ¿verdad que está bien bonito? Usted ve los fondos que usamos para los extendidos, también para las noticias, es nada más y nada menos que por AG Artists, es la que tiene a todo el mundo al día en Puerto Rico. Equipos de baloncesto, le hace las promos a varios equipos del BCN, así que contáctalas en Instagram como AG Artists. Y por último, pero no menos importante, gracias por la oportunidad. Recuerda darle like, darle share, compartir esto con todo el mundo y dejarnos 5 estrellas en Instagram. Que tengan buen día, se me cuidan.